So, have you guys ever made a plan and thought it was solid, and then all of a sudden it goes pear shaped and you have to pivot? Yeah, that's where I'm at. So, about, I'd say, the beginning of summer, I decided that I was gonna build a shed, a workshop for me to do stuff in, projects, that kind of stuff. And my brother-in-law was redoing his backyard, and they had an old shed that they decided that he would give to me. Well, we tore it down, and it turned into this whole huge project for me because it turned into something completely different than what he had started with. The only thing that stayed the same was the footprint size. It was about 15 feet by 12 feet, and I kept it 15 feet by 12 feet, but it had a monoslope roof with 8-foot sidewalls up to a 10-foot sidewall. It was big. It was good size. I put a lot of work, a lot of money into it. I put about $800 into the metal for the roofing. I had all the lumber, all the siding. My boss gave me a window for it. And my brother-in-law, he's an electrician. He came over and helped me wire it. I had great wiring in there. I had probably about 8 or 9 plugs. I had good lights. I had a ceiling fan in there. It was pretty cool. So I had started going through and putting up that cloth that you staple up so you could do blow-in insulation. Well, I got that all put up, and I had just installed one of those like Dynaglow blue flame heaters, and I had it hanging on the wall. I followed the instructions and everything, and it got it all mounted. Well, I was literally like one joist bay away of putting up that material until I could insulate it. That weekend I was going to insulate it. So I called it a day. I went inside and did my stuff, got ready for bed, and I went to bed, and around 1:30 in the morning there's this loud boom. I wake up and I go running out of my room, and I look out the back window and the shed's on fire. So call 911, get out of the house, and there's a 100-pound propane tank that I had right next to the shed that was running that heater, and it was outside. It was outside. It was on fire too, and that's what the boom noise was. It was venting the gas, and we had this gazebo or covered patio, whatever you want to call it, right next to it. Well, that's on fire too. The shed is just roaring. The fire department shows up. They got here pretty quick, and they get it all put out. Um, the next day, I go out and look and lost everything. I had all my power tools in there. They're all gone. All the insulation I had bought to do the insulation that weekend, all gone. My laptop was in there. Like, I had thousands of dollars in tools in there, all gone. I had all Milwaukee tools. I had a drill, an impact, sawzall, bandsaw, grinder, the works. I had a lot of stuff, all gone. All the grills we had sitting outside. We had a Traeger, gone. Had a Blackstone, gone. Charbroil, gone. Picnic table, gone. Just everything, gone. So that kind of knocked the wind out of my sails. Well, I've been dealing with insurance and everything, and they're not paying out near as much as I lost, which is what it is. You know how insurance is. So I decided that I needed something to do. Because I'm the type of person, I just need to keep my mind occupied. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that are like that. Well, I already had 4 ducks that I had raised from little ducklings. And I decided I wanted to get 8 more. I figured 12 was a good number for the amount of space I had. And I did some research. And so I ordered them. Well, the week that they're supposed to get delivered, I get a phone call from the post office, and they say, "Hey, we got some babies here for you. You want to come pick them up?" Well, mind you, it's 4:30 in the morning at this time. And I go, "Yeah, all right, on my way." So I go outside the shed, that gray one right there. My aunt had just given it to me so I could use it as a brooder for the ducklings. I go out to the shed, and I have a little horse trough in there that I figured that'd be perfect to brood these ducklings in until I can, move them into the shed itself. And I get it all turned on. I get the heat turned on. I get it all warming up for them, getting it prepared. Trying to be responsible. I get that done and I hop into my truck and head down to the post office. I get to the post office and ring the bell there, and the lady opens the door and she's got the box all bundled up and everything, and she hands them to me. I'm like, awesome, perfect. Well, I'm walking back out to the truck and I go, this feels heavier than the last box. But I was like, well, it's 8 instead of 4. Whatever. Well, I get back home, I go into that shed, I open up the box and go, that's more than 8. Well, it's getting into winter here, and sometimes they pad the box a little bit, just in case some die. Well, I start pulling them out, and I hit 10. And I go, wow, that's a lot. Then I hit 15. Wow, that's way more than I ordered. Then I hit 20, and I go, Jesus, that is way more than what I ordered. I ended up counting out 24 ducklings, 16 more than I ordered. All right. Holy crap, what am I supposed to do? So I call the hatchery. They tell me, yeah, that's unusual. So after a while, they get back to me and they tell me, well, what we think is what happened is that during shipment, the post office might have had some escapees or a package of somebody else's tip over, and they didn't know where they went. So they stuck them into mine. And I asked them, well, what am I supposed to do with them? Do I send them back? And they go, no, they're yours. Do with them as you see fit. So I have 24 ducklings now to raise, and I'm not prepared at all. I was only prepared for 8. So what I'm doing in this video here is making another run. The run I have could probably hold them, but I need to keep them separate for a while until they get big enough. So this run I'm building is about 16 by 12 feet. I went and got those post holders, those ones that are got the spike on the bottom that you hammer into the ground. I bought those, and I'm actually surprised at how well they are. They're kind of a pain in the butt to keep from twisting when you're hammering them in, but I'm figuring it out. I also, when I had that fire, I lost all my tools. So I had to go buy new tools to do this. So I went and bought a tool set, a Ryobi tool set, and so far it was a cheap set. It's definitely not what I would have bought years ago when I bought all my Milwaukee stuff, but it's working great for what I'm doing. And as I'm doing this, I'm discovering that I need more stuff. Like, I need to get levels, I need to get more shovels, I need to get more power tools, like I need to get a framing nailer, I need to get all kinds of stuff. But I'm gonna do it a piece at a time. I'm definitely not a person who is a professional when it comes to construction. I do have a decent knowledge of it with being a plumber, so I think I do all right, but I'm not the type of person who plans everything out to the T. So in this video, I'm kind of winging it. And I think a lot of you guys could do that too, because if you just are willing to try and learn from your mistakes, you can really get good at something in a pretty short amount of time. So that's kind of just what I'm doing here, is I'm doing my stuff, keeping it real, and I'm going to be sharing this process with you guys. If you want to be a part of it, subscribe, because I'd love to share it with you.